Right, welcome ladies and gents. We're here to talk about Grace Randolph. Yeah, I know. Shill Media. She is part of Shill Media. And she's come out and done a review of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Having not played the game. And having not played the Arkham games. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. She watched the cutscenes. And she watched some gameplay. A fucking shill's got a shill, ain't they? Bloody Grace Shillingsworth. My God. If any of you needed more evidence as to how Grace is absolutely a rampant shill, what? Why do you? How? What? Come on. This is also the person, bearing in mind, that reviewed the last Rambo movie, but also didn't finish the movie. Still reviewed it. Didn't want to finish the movie because apparently it had negative stereotypes of the Mexican cartel. They're the fucking cartel, you dunce. My God. Anyway, hit subscribe if you're new here, guys. I do apologise. We are, unfortunately, going to have to listen to some of Grace's takes on this. And that obviously involves her voice. And yes, it's quite annoying. So I am sorry. But I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Shill Media is out in force. You've got Steam literally deleting negative reviews of Suicide Squad Kills itself. Sorry, Kills the Justice League. And now you've got Grace Randolph, having not played the game, reviewing the game. Wow. Wow. Also, Jasper's here. Can I get a thumbs up for Jasper? Yeah. If you like what I do here, by the way, guys, do hit subscribe. Do turn the bell notifications on. Follow me on Twitter at Mistake Reviews. And I will say as well, if you want to help support the channel, we've got a Streamlabs link down below. You can donate your support there on a monthly basis, or just send in a one-time donation with a question, and I'll get to it on my podcast, The Hcast. So it's a good time, guys. It's a good time. Anyway, links all down below. Let's have a look, shall we? So, like I said, unfortunately, unfortunately, yep. I mean, she looks drunk. She might as well be. And this is it. So I just want to. We're going to watch the intro. I'm going to stop and start some of it and some of the really dumb takes. But this is just Shill Media out in force.
I know that the popular thing to do right now is to rag on this game.
And why is it popular, Grace? Why is it popular to rag on the game? Because the vast majority of people don't like the game. The vast majority of people have watched the game. They've watched the cutscenes. They've looked at the buggy-ass gameplay. They know the story's terrible. They know it follows up from the Arkham games. They're fans of the Arkham games. And narratively speaking, it's nonsense as well. I mean, come on, idiot.
And maybe the gameplay is awful. I mean, from what I could tell, I'm not a gamer, but the gameplay did look pretty bad.
From what I can tell, I'm not a gamer. The gameplay did look pretty bad. So you've not played it. Right, okay.
But from a story perspective, I had so much fun with this as a DC fan. I think there's just so much to discuss, and we're going to discuss it. This, I thought there was just so many interesting takeaways from this. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like how Wonder Woman doesn't get corrupted and doesn't get pissed on and doesn't get killed or shot in the face, but everyone else does. All the men do. Yeah, but that's interesting to a feminist.
It's far from perfect. It's got problems for sure. But overall, it's been a while since we had a comic book story, certainly a DC story that we could really sink our teeth into and discuss these characters. Oh,
has it? It's been a while, has it?
So fun. It got me back to why we love these stories in the first place. And so
no one loves this story, Grace. You've just you predicated your entire review by saying it's popular to rag on the game. Yes, because no one likes it. So no.
So for that, I'm very thankful. Now, the cutscenes for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League are a 3.5-hour movie, basically.
She spent 3.5 hours. So she hasn't played the game, but she spent 3.5 hours watching the cutscenes. That's the basis of this review. Holy shit.
with a little game.
So please, guys, go spend $100 on the game because Grace watched 3.5 hours of cutscenes. What kind of argument is this, woman?
Play in there, and I've put a link down below where you can watch these scenes if you would like to. And as I said, I have plenty to say about it, so get a snack, pull up a seat, and let's talk DC. So fun. I would say this is certainly better than either of the Suicide Squad movies that we've gotten. Although, to be fair, they did pave the way for this game. But on that note, I think that Rocksteady, the video game developer behind this game, and of course behind the iconic Arkham games, and I know that a lot of people I never played the Arkham games and I never watched those cutscenes.
Huh. So, so your opinion on people not liking the game is founded on what? Literally nothing. Oh my god, this woman.
So maybe that makes me a little bit more open to what they do here as well.
No, you don't say, Grace. You don't say.
But I think they've done a great job of evolving the Suicide Squad formula in ways that I hope will inspire Warner Brothers film and TV divisions, or I guess more accurately, James Gunn and Peter Safran. There's a lot to take away from here. They get a lot wrong, but they get a lot right. This Suicide Squad gets to tangle with the big leagues, not just by taking on the Justice League, but by...
Right, no, this is all nonsense. So let's have a look what she says about Joker, for goodness sake.
Task Force X has a history with that team in the game's first DLC. So that, I was disappointed. At first, I had only briefly seen the Joker like on my periphery with this game. But so when I watched the cutscenes, I was like, where's Joker? And then I was like, oh, I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's DLC.
So again, she didn't play the game, guys. This is a shill. She did not play the game. She watched the cutscenes.
But I would go back and watch this new chapter. I'm going to go and watch this new chapter.
She's going to go back and watch the chapter, guys. She's going to go back and watch the chapter. So just wait for her really important review when she goes back and watches the chapter.
When it comes out. Because I'm excited about it. And I think this idea...
She's excited for Twink Joker.
For the game in the long run is quite clever. By the way...
she thinks the idea for the game being always online where it drips feeds you content you've got to pay for is really clever.
Before we talk about that, I just want to say I think that this version of the Joker looks pretty great to me.
Yes. Yeah, that is not a surprise that a feminist would enjoy a twink-ass Joker. Yeah. Yes, that's not a surprise.
I think he's a nice mix of the comics and Jared Leto's version.
Said no one ever? Yeah, it looks really cool because he's a mix of Jared Leto's Joker. Are you high?
Of the character, which again, a lot of people like to say bad stuff about, but then why isn't he going away? I like it. I think it looks cool. I'm very curious to see his dynamic with this Harley Quinn.
Right, anyway, she's talking absolute bollocks here, so we'll shuffle on a little bit from this nonsense. So, talks about some bad character designs, blah, blah, blah. Villain perspective, blah, blah, blah. Batman. Shall we have a look what she says about this?
Watching his last recording, the Babel Protocols. Shout out to the iconic comic, thank you very much. I was like, the comic book fan of me was like, ooh. That's the Grant Morrison comic Tower of Babel where, you know, he came up with protocols for how to take out...
It's Tower of Babel, but alright.
The Justice League, and then, well, I don't want to ruin it in case you haven't read that comic, but it is great. But the Suicide Squad was moved by the sadness of his last transmission because I believe they respect him. And I think that was lost when his end scene leaked. So why? Because of all the heroes, Batman acts the most like a villain. Isn't that interesting? Batman will change allegiances. He will work with his enemies, and he will use their weapons himself on other villains and also sometimes on heroes, like Scarecrow's fear gas or Sinestro's lantern battery. I now realize a little bit better why Batman doesn't get along sometimes with other heroes. I always thought they were just jelly. I'm like, you know, haters gonna hate, but
She thinks Batman doesn't get along with other superheroes because he's more like a villain. No. That's not why.
I'm like, oh, maybe I can understand why you don't like how Batman sometimes crosses these lines. I get it. I mean, I'm still on
Batman doesn't cross the lines. He has a no-kill... Oh my god.
Batman's side, but I understand where you're coming from a little bit better now. And also why he gets along with the villains. I think he relates. I think to some degree it's always been like, well, Batman, he won't take that final step. He won't become an executioner because of what happened to us. Because I think she does to some degree feel like he's kind of a friend of hers. And like an uncool friend. I think that's great. And her being the one to take out Batman, as she acknowledges, it is a joke. But
It's even more of a joke if you played the Arkham games, because this version of Harley Quinn just got bitch slapped away. Oh my god.
I think maybe, I like Tara Strong's performance here for the most part, to be clear, but maybe her performance was a little off for this scene, for this monologue, which is why it doesn't go over as well as it should. But I think the scene is very well written. They just messed up when they performed it. I think they played it to be too serious. It should have been more like a final Joker Batman moment, and I didn't see that there. And maybe they should have played out a little bit more her commentary on the hypocrisy of Batman. I saw it though, but it made Batman. Like, to me, the better than that rogue in there, one in the comics, she's made out of clay by her mother.
Right, we're gonna look at this. She then starts shipping Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn off together. Look at this.
But you know what I loved? The connection between her and Harley. Now at first, this is beautiful. Now at first, it just seemed like Harley was attracted to Wonder Woman, and I think she was. But I think it was ultimately deeper than that. Not only the camaraderie of the LGBT...
Oh my god, this is full-blown shill mode. You couldn't make this stuff up. Holy shit, she's shipping Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn off as lesbos.
...community, which I thought was really great. Because, of course, that's something I don't think is explored enough, particularly like in a hero.
It's not explored enough. We need to know what these heroes do with their genitalia. We need to know who they want to bang. We must know this, because it really needs to be explored. And little children who read comics really need to read this. Someone needs to search your hard drive, Grace. It's pedo shit.
Context, like you're talking about loyalty and camaraderie, and I think that element to explore that in the battlefield is very, very cool. And I think, even though maybe Harley Quinn was attracted a little bit to Wonder Woman, there was still a platonic aspect to it, just out of respect. And I thought that was great. Now, that leads me to also not just Wonder Woman having, representing girl power, but female resilience, right? So Themyscira, sometimes, they change this stuff all the time, but in some stories, Themyscira was created to escape the evils men often perpetrate against women. Even Hippolyta is supposed to have been...
Right, I can't watch much more of this. We'll go a little bit more forward, because she starts talking about Wonder Woman again. So, let's see some more shit.
Then Wonder Woman, again, just awful character design, and she's once again not allowed to show how incredible she could truly be. She's always holding herself back, and that's very frustrating. But what is nice is that she continues to bring out the best in others, both with her innate compassion and honor. Even when she hates people, she still manages to inspire them. But also the warrior people that she represents. And also, I got all that stuff out of her interactions with Harley, which I'm very thankful for.
Oh, God. Anyway, Warner Brothers have managed to enlist literally everyone to be a shill for this game. Literally everyone. They try to threaten people. Let me take these dumb headphones off. They try to threaten people into reviewing it positively. They also try to say if you review this negatively, you won't get a review copy. Blah 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 blah. All this. Now they even got Grace Randolph to make a video saying I watched the cutscenes. Blah. Fuck this. Oh my god. Sorry. If I had to watch that, you had to watch it. I'm so sorry. Thoughts down below? They are so desperate, and they should be desperate. They should be desperate because this game is bombing hard. Hard. Anyway, shills will be shills.